Hello, once again we come to the end of what has become an annual roller coaster ride, where we, that's us, the production team, and through us, you, the viewers, share a little bit of what it means to be an emergency worker, someone who runs in when everyone else is running out. Over the past weeks, we've introduced you to our 8 finalists, and today we will find out who will walk away with the title Centrum Guardian of the Year 2013. Would you place a bet? I wouldn't. Here are the finalists of 2013. There is the team who had the tenacity to search the Mariepskop Mountains for 6 days, looking for a man who had been given up for dead. Also, the team who abseiled down a steep ravine while surrounded by a raging fire to hoist a colleague to safety. Then there's the team from Meyerton, who stayed focused for hours in the bitter cold to rescue survivors from a horror bus crash. A firefighter from Howick acted on instinct and dragged a woman back from the brink of a 100-meter waterfall. A team of divers from Hout Bay had the drive to go beyond what could be expected of any rescue worker to save 3 people from drowning under a capsized boat. A tragic train accident, a reflex response, and a team from Polokwane managed to bring a baby into the world against all odds. In Newcastle, a bold young woman dragged a man 100 meters, the length of a rugby field, out of a dark and dangerous water pipe. It took team spirit to effect a rescue of enormous proportions in raging floods across Mpumalanga, a mission that meant not one life was lost. Over the years, the Centrum Guardian project has evolved and changed shape with the guidance of the industry. Feedback after the 2012 series was that we needed to level the playing field for all the finalists. We know that colleagues and friends and family contribute hugely to the votes, and we love the enthusiasm shown by you guys in garnering those votes. But some people simply have a wider reach, especially today with social media playing such a large part. So, to level the playing field, we have introduced an independent voting panel this year. The panel members were drawn from different sectors in media and marketing. They met behind closed doors this week to carefully assess each rescue and put forward their ideas of who should take the title.
Judging something like this is difficult because reward for doing this kind of work should go to everybody.
Skeptics at heart, they were soon drawn into the human drama and pathos of the rescue scenarios.
I watched the first episode and I wanted to cry, so I've had to be quite careful about watching the others because I keep wanting to cry. The drama and the absolute emotional intensity, it's incredible. It's a really lovely, deeply moving human stories.
The judges were struck by the willingness of each rescue team to do whatever it takes.
They deserve a medal from the state president. That's how I feel, and to choose a winner is totally unfair.
Seeing the extremes to which these teams have gone to save sometimes a single life is remarkable.
We have an incredible country with incredible individuals who are willing and able to put themselves on the line when the time comes.
I'm not too sure I could do what they do, and I take my hat off to them.
The brief was to answer the question, which guardian or team inspires you to live life at 100%?
It was very difficult to make a decision because they were all amazing, and every story had a different angle. You thought, oh wow, that's wonderful, or I can't believe they did that, or I cannot believe how they risked themselves in each and every story.
Difficult as it was, a decision had to be made. A winner had to be named.
You probably aren't doing this work for the glory, and you aren't doing it for the money. You're doing it for the passion because you really and truly want to help people.
It's a stranger risking their life to save another stranger's life. what could be more human and inspiring than that? Gives me a bit of more hope and trust in the human race.
It's humanity. That's what it boils down to. It's non-racial, it's non-sexist, it's purely respect for another human being.
It just comes across in every episode that.
It's remarkable. It's an honor to be part of it.
Each panel member was asked to score the teams individually, 8 points to their favourite, 7 to the next, and so on. Finally, one team came out on top.
I wish that everybody could be a winner, although ultimately they are, but it was very hard choosing one out of all of them.
As the judges said, all the stories were astonishing. But, and I think you will all agree, when you meet the survivors, the story takes on a very special meaning. And when those survivors are little ones, even more so. Those stories after the break. Hout Bay, a vessel capsized with 50 people on board. 6 people were missing, feared drowned. Local rescue divers rushed to the scene while the NSRI plucked survivors from the sea. Then a faint tapping was heard from underneath the upturned boat.
When they said no people is still in the hull and they are still alive, things changed.
There's no more time for fear, there's no more time for hesitation because there's people's lives depending on you.
Fabian and Alvin were first on the scene. They spotted the survivors in an open hatch.
And that's when I saw the 2 sets of legs.
3 survivors trapped in an unlikely air pocket underneath the upturned boat.
So I took my spare demand valve and I stuck it into the air pocket and I pushed on it. This person actually took it.
Police divers waited anxiously on the surface.
What felt like hours and hours, they came out with the first survivor.
It's the first time that we've ever rescued a live victim from a dive operation.
Police divers were briefed on the location of the 2 remaining victims. They went in to find the 2 remaining survivors trapped in the small air pocket.
And immediately there was people screaming.
The terrified victims refused to budge.
How are we going to get these people out?
They surfaced for help.
They said, listen, we've got a problem here. We all 4 must go underneath the vessel.
The plan was to equip the women and swim them out.
Everything went to plan more or less.
And then everything stopped.
Paralyzed by fear, the women refused to move any further.
I realized time was running out, so I decided to take off my scuba gear.
Eben handed over his air supply and quickly surfaced.
It's going to turn out one of 2 ways. We're going to get these people out, no problem, or we're going to die.
The remaining 3 divers had to move fast.
I just grabbed her by the side, going down and out. The second one was like 2 or 3 seconds. It was so easy.
The waiting divers received exhausted survivors.
And the first thing that she said to me there was, "Don't leave me. I'm going to die, don't leave me." And I said to her, "Nobody's dying today, I've got you."
Isn't that the most wonderful thing? Nobody's dying today, I've got you now. Ek wil ook sommer weer begin huil. One of the women who was rescued from the upturned boat in Hout Bay has since had a baby, and we went to their home to meet them. Bronwyn Armstrong was the first victim to be rescued from under the Maroshka.
Thank you very much. Thank you for risking your lives to save ours.
I was happy. I was extremely happy to get us to the top.
I want to tell Fabian, especially, thank you for your patience with me. I think I scooped him and...
She was still so fearful that she wouldn't let go. I had to call the NSRI guys to pry her off me.
I just want to say thank you. Must have been hard, to go under there. It was absolutely hectic.
At the time of the accident, Bronwyn was not aware that she was 8 weeks pregnant.
Dis eintlik baie erg, dis woes. I shouldn't be here today. And Lexi wouldn't be here today, which is hectic. She's my baby. Thank you, Mom. She doesn't even look like me. She's my angel pie. No, there's no talking down. my baby girl, Lexi Cooks. She's absolutely amazing. You know, sometimes you think about the accident and you think about what had happened and you're like, why didn't you just take me away? Because the nightmares and all the nonsense that goes with it. I mean, you get into the shower and that water touches your face, you want to actually have a heart attack. So she's changed it in a way that it's helping me do things. She makes me appreciate things more, life, and how you treat other people, and she might not even see them tomorrow. And thank you. And my baby. If you didn't save me, I wouldn't have a baby. Oh, God. Yes, I'm gonna live tonight.
Two of the women who were saved on that day, Bronwyn and Annemarie Wefer, are with us today. And Bronwyn brought baby Lexi. Ladies, please.
I just want to say thank you very much to Fabian and his team for rescuing my life. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And my baby. And then I want to thank Centrum Garden Project. It's an honor to be here today.
Thank you so much. And Annemarie?
Yes. Trapped under the hull for hours, I called upon the God of the impossible, to whom belong escapes from death. And then you came, like mavericks, risking your own lives, not giving up till you get us out there. And we want to salute you.
And in Polokwane, a baby miraculously survived the death of her mother. Here's her remarkable story. On the 10th of August, a collision of tons of unstoppable steel seemed an impossible force to survive.
I came across one of the tow truck drivers who stopped me and said, "Did I know about the train accident?"
David called for backup and headed for the scene.
Well, when I got there, I found a car had been hit by a train.
You could see there was still one patient inside the vehicle, and then was one gentleman outside the vehicle.
I immediately went to go look into the car, and there I found a woman.
David couldn't find a pulse.
And I said, "Tell me, is she pregnant?" And he said, "Yes, she's 8 months pregnant." I went and I took the stethoscope and put it onto her belly. Of course, I never heard a heartbeat. The baby kicked the stethoscope. That baby didn't say, "Listen to my heartbeat." It said, "Get me out of here."
It was just simple, guys, we need to get to hospital as in yesterday.
They immediately started CPR. The core function was to keep blood circulating through the lifeless mother so that the baby could continue to breathe.
Whenever I was driving, it was like, baby, 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 baby involved.
8 critical minutes had passed since the rescuers took action. David made emergency plans at the hospital. A visiting doctor on the scene took decisive action.
They shifted the lady in the resuscitation room and they give me a knife and I cut in less than 30 seconds, the baby was out.
That was the quickest cesarean section I ever saw in my life.
The baby was blue and appeared lifeless.
It was gone already.
Well, I was looking at Eugene like, we've gone through all of this now and the baby's not breathing. Eugene intubated, I started CPR on the baby.
And we knew we're not going to give up on this baby. This baby must survive today.
Long seconds passed when suddenly the tiny baby took a chance for life.
It was like, wow.
This baby is alive and healthy. She has hands that can surround and warm and care for her. So it was actually a blessing to me as a newly qualified medic in the field.
And that little one too is alive and well, living with her aunt in Limpopo. Here they are. Eunice Bugana lives a simple life in the remote village of Toyando. She cares for 2 young children. One is her own, the other a child she sees as a miraculous gift.
Na ke bone hore modimo he ana le mmereko le motho wa mpholosa ke bone ka ngwana ona ke tsona tse nka le bulela.
Eunice is grateful to the rescuers who acted as midwives. Tendani Bugana had many strong hands and hearts rooting for her full recovery. Her Aunt Eunice heard about her remarkable survival and agreed to take her in.
Akaba Dr. Mosi Chavengse. Kimloro wakaona.
A miracle indeed. The team who saved little precious Tendani decided to give up their prize money to help her aunt look after her. And now here's the surprise. That Aunt Eunice has brought the little one to introduce her to the guys and to us today. Here they are.
She greeted everyone in Venda and she wants to thank God for the miracle and for giving the emergency personnel guys strength to pull this through. And she's lost for words. She doesn't know what to say. She's got deep gratitude for everything.
Thank you. Thank you, Danae. After the break, we bring you the winner of Centrum Guardian 2013. It was an incredible journey to get to this point, with the photo shoots, the documentaries being shot, a spectacular media launch, a lot of activity by the different Guardians and their communication representatives and their communities. We presented 8 finalists to the public. The viewers and the public have voted. The independent panel has voted. The auditor has verified it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the winner, the Centrum Guardian of the Year 2013 is Focus. This is the team of rescue workers from Meyerton who attended the scene of a large-scale accident. Through their focused and relentless efforts, they managed to save 53 people that day. Here's their story. Bus 422 was en route to Meyerton on the morning of the 25th of June. For some reason, it didn't stop at the stop streets. Instead, it carried on going and into the water below. A fire and rescue team from Meyerton Station was immediately dispatched.
Then I saw the bus lying on its side in the ditch.
As they approached, they were faced with the worst.
It's a smell of death. And I looked inside the bus, and that's when I saw a lot of people. The first priority was to get more hands on the scene.
The call went out to all available resources in the area.
Just heard one of the crews from the ambulance screaming on the radio, Citibank call center, please send all Citibank ambulances.
Next moment, everyone's phone started ringing.
Whether on duty or off, rescue workers responded to the call.
Not a question of are you on duty or off duty. We go to help the people.
When we arrive at the scene, it's like we are shutting down as human beings.
All members of the team fell into step.
Suddenly your training takes over. You know exactly what you have to do. Get the basket stretcher down there and start getting the patients out.
One by one, the people was coming out, and then he said 60 people still trapped inside the bus.
They hauled victim after victim in grueling conditions.
It was very cold that morning. The bus was lying in a stream of water and mud, You had to work knee-deep in that mud, very cold.
Obviously the bus is difficult to get all that people out of the bus through only a small window, only a back.
So we had to carry the heavy jaws of life extrication equipment of ours in that mud.
We started to open the bus on the side.
With the jaws of life, the team gained better access to the victims.
There were people trying to grab onto the side of the bus, but they were stuck by the foot or the arm.
You need to move an arm, you need to move a body part, you need to move a leg.
Surviving patients were near hysteria.
And at one stage, one of the patients, a lady, grabbed my arm and she's asking, please help me. But we can't take her out because there's between 10 and 20 people that's lying like this.
The team worked systematically to free the terrified victims one by one, like pieces of a tragic puzzle.
It was touching your heart because you know there's people in there and these guys are trying their best to get those people out as fast as possible.
Just trying to concentrate on the one that you are saving at that moment.
No one was panicking. Everyone knew exactly what they had to do. Everyone followed orders.
The team worked in the bitter cold for 6 hours to free every victim from the bus.
We helped as many people as we could and we did our job the right way we could. That was just relief.
6 hours in that water, I was proud of them.
Sure, I think it's a shock for all of us. But I think it just inspires us to just carry on.
Yeah. This is actually a great feeling for every one of us, and may God bless us all and those who are in need. Let's all rush to those who need help.
A fitting final word for this year's Centrum Guardian project. Thank you for sharing the journey.